So I want to go over some of the class roles again really quickly because I have seen a couple things, mostly in the morning where people come in and they wear their hoods and their hats. So I talked about that this morning. Also, I want to make sure that everyone's in a class uniform. So if you come in at this point and you don't have your class uniform on, I automatically go over and knock off 2 points off your daily grade. And after a while, that kind of adds up and it could knock your grade down. So just make sure it's simple just to have your uniform, even if you have it here. And you just throw it on over top. Right, and you have a uniform. Make sure you put it over the uniform. I know you started late. So everybody understands that you guys have to be in class uniform. If they do see you as you walk in or in the front, they'll contact me and tell me that I need to make a call home, and after the third call home about uniform, then they try to get me to send a referral for expulsion. The hats and hoods, I call home if I see a hat and hood on. Bathroom passes, I'm not going to use the pass over there anymore. So you don't have to scan that. You just have to go to Google Classroom, click on the link that's listed here. It's going to be listed up top here above where you see the drawings of the days and all this stuff. So it should be on top. You're going to have to click on that when you leave and then when you come back. Because the thing is, people are clicking it when they leave and filling out the form, but then they don't know when you come back. And if something happens during the time you're there, they're going to look at whoever went out and they'll call you down to the office to talk to you. So make sure you log back in when you come back. So 2 times. You leave, you keep it up on your desktop. Then when you come back, make sure you just hit submit again. It'll collect your time. All right. Cell phones. I figure that we do not need cell phones near our desks anymore. So cell phones go in the bins or charging on the side there. I don't think anybody needs cell phones unless we're really using it for a project. So I don't want to see cell phones around or out. And all of this stuff, I mark down points. So if someone has a problem with their grade, it's probably because you're sitting there on a cell phone or on a game or something like that. Make sure you're not using your cell phones or it's not out. Everyone knows about our procedures now. So everyone that I can see so far is doing your sketches, and then you're doing your assignment, and as we leave, you're doing your exit ticket. So also the exit ticket, if you're not doing that, and it's points off the grade. All right, so we're going to be working on our next project today, starting, if you're not finished with your self-portrait, you can continue on with that. But I want to make sure that everyone kind of has this next project ready to go and knows what to do with it. So I put up these 5 logos just to see if you guys know the difference to it. I would like for someone who is new in class to tell me a little bit of something about each of these and what's similar. What would you tell me about each of these logos if you saw these? What would come to your mind first? Autumn, what comes to your mind first when you look at these 5 logos? What's that? Maybe when I talk to you, just put the microphone on so that I could, everyone can hear you that's home. Hold on. Just turn your microphone off. What they represent. Andrew, yes. Tell me. All these logos that are up here, what comes to your mind first about these logos?
They're all representing different brands.
They all represent different brands. They all represent different brands. Anything else simple? Like, tell me, they all look simple? Are they all memorable? Easy to understand? Can you see them all from a distance? They're recognizable, memorable, and that's what we want to get across on our logos. And the reason why I say a logo is not a picture is sometimes when I get jobs and you have clients, they always want to say, I want a picture, but they're talking about branding. And branding, when you're branding something, you want to make sure it's simple and memorable. So simple. Looking at these logos, what's so simple about it? Something that's pretty clear if you look at it. None of those logos up there are more than 2 colors. And that's how we're going to build our class logo. We're going to make sure that we're using 1 color. There's 5 basic types of logos: an icon, word mark, letter mark, combination mark, and emblem. So a symbol or icon are simple, bold logos that resemble and easy to remember. These logos, you could see the Mercedes one. I think this Mercedes one, is an older version of it. I think the newer one is bolder and easier to see. Anything with thin lines and a lot of detail is going towards more into something a little bit too busy. So you want to keep it simple and memorable. Like the Shell logo up there has been around forever. It's been around for over 100 years. So you want to make sure it's simple and easy to remember. So these are icons. These ones here, Facebook, and they look like words, they're more of word marks. These 3 logos, they are not just, someone didn't just grab a font and type them out. These are all hand-drawn and probably drawn about 1,000 times before they came up with the conclusion on this. So make sure that when you're creating the class logo and you use a word mark, and we are going to be using either a word mark or a combination mark. So those are your 2 options. You're going to see here that here's a letter mark. We aren't going to be doing this because no one's going to really remember AD. We could use AD in the icon. If you want to do an icon and a word mark together as a combination mark, but we're not going to be doing initial marks. So this is a combination mark. You can see there's 3 logos up here. They have word marks with their icon. So that's what a combination is. So it's a combination of a word mark and an icon. Then we have an emblem. All of these are encased. So you can see Starbucks has the circle around it. The NFL has the shield around it. So anything encased is called an emblem. I want to talk about the graphic design process because this is what we're going to be doing on each and every one of our projects, especially our end of the year project, because at the end of the year when you guys are presenting what you're doing for the whole year, and I'm going to kind of present the end of the year project soon because I want everyone to start thinking about it and working on it. And I also gave it to the second year or third year students that are here because they know what I'm looking for already, so they kind of started it. So the graphic design process is pretty much everything you do up until the finish of the product that you design. So you want to define the task. In your sketchbooks, I want you to write down everything it is that you're thinking about each project that we do. So like this project is a class logo. What are some of the things that are affiliated with this class? A lot of times when I walk around and people are doing this project, they start thinking about the cursor, pen tool, the mouse, like a computer. So some of the things you just want to jot it down. You just want to jot down things that'll keep you thinking about each project. So like the final product, what is it? Defining the task. task at hand is we're creating a logo, and then you want to create your word clouds, do your research, you're generating, gathering ideas, look for good examples, and all of this should be written down on paper. When you're finished this project, I should be able to see all of your sketches, all of your thinking throughout the project. I don't want to just see one sketch, one finish. You have a week to do the project, so I should see a whole body of work. I should be able to see from how you're thinking in the very beginning by all the notes that you're taking to the very end where you see a finished project. So the brainstorming part of it is word maps, word associations, word opposites. So you're going to go in here and you're going to create something similar to this where on the right side you see a bunch of affiliated words. This is someone who is working on their personal logo. So this is someone's name who's probably, I think it's a photographer. I could see up here they have like a lens, maybe a shutter. Looks like this could be a shutter down here. And then everything affiliated with what he does is probably over here. It says photography, texture, studio. So anything related to what we're working on, you should be able to sit here and be like brainstorming in this way. This will make your project better in the long run. So after you have tons and tons of ideas here, I don't want to just settle for one. You're going to take 2 to 3 of your best thumbnail sketches that you develop. A thumbnail sketch is a small sketch. It's like the size of a thumbnail. It doesn't have to be too big. That's what thumbnail sketches are. So then you're going to pick 2 or 3, and then you're going to start it off. You can see how they picked this one. You can see on the top of the T's here, changed over time. It seems like the A changed a lot from the first revision. Looks like the N changed from a sans serif to sort of like a serif on top. So I want to see the slight changes. At this point, you're not going to change it drastically. You're just going to make little adjustments just to make it better. So when you pick your 2 to 3, you're just going to try to make them better and better. Just give me a couple versions of those 2 or 3 that you create. So then after that, you come up with a type sketch, like the bottom one that we saw. The type sketch would be this one at the bottom. So it's pretty close to what we're going to see when you come up with a finish. And then you'll form a final by going into Illustrator. But before that, make sure you upload all your sketches before you go to a final. Upload everything to Google Classroom like we're doing now. I want you guys to get into the habit of always uploading to Google Classroom throughout the project. So I know where you're at. I know where you're at on the project. If I feel like I need to talk to you, I can come up and talk to you about it. So then you're going to create the final using Illustrator. And I did create a couple videos to help. I'll go over the assignment sheet now. So here's our assignment sheet, and this is going to be uploaded to Edmodo, I always say Edmodo because that's what we always use, but Google Classroom. So we are going to do the pen tool exercises first. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Everyone's going to do the pen tool exercises, just because in the morning I let second years kind of help the first year students, and then second year students forgot how to use the pen tool. So I was like, now everyone's going to redo the pen tool exercises. All right. Once you're done with the pen tool exercises, upload them to Google Classroom, but make sure they're saved as a PDF. Don't upload them as an Illustrator file. I don't want to see .ai. So in the video, I show you exactly how I want it. So like if you look at the video and you see how I save the file, it should be easy. Just follow how I save the file. It's just format, make sure it's PDF, save it, and then you can upload it to Google Classroom. Make sure that you're uploading all your sketches at the end of each day. We're going to have 4 days after today to work on this. So if you're done with your self-portrait, you could get into working on this project, making sure that you have the pencil exercises finished and uploaded so I could look at it and check it. If you need help, you can ask anyone who's been here before or each other. And you could also ask me. What I want is, I also have another video showing on how you set up your Adobe Illustrator file. Each logo has to be 3 inches by 3 inches, so it's a square. And you're gonna, even if it's a horizontal logo, just make sure it fits into that and follow these steps. I have a video showing how to create that. I know I'm going to have some people that aren't going to listen to the video, and they're going to go in and make it 3 pixels by 3 pixels, and that's about the size of a pin tip. So make sure it's 3 inches by 3 inches. It says here also, in case you forget, it needs to be a word mark or a combination mark, and I put the Prezi inside with the assignment in case you forget. We'll have a quiz at the end, so make sure you understand the different logos. I have the design process here on the 2nd page, and you can see the work that goes into creating the logo here. So they have a word cloud, the different logos, the thumbnail sketches, to a tighter sketch, and then looks like this was closer to the finish there, and then that's when they came up with the finish. But make sure you check the rubric before you upload everything. The first part of the rubric is the use of the pen tool, and if you already know how to use the pen tool, it should be easy. It should take you probably 15, 20 minutes to finish. And then just upload that. You'll get a 10 points on that. Then I have, for the second part, the design process. So you need to show me all the stuff I just went over for the design process. All the sketches, the thumbnail sketches to the finish. You know, show me everything that you got. Even if you're thinking out loud with writing what you're thinking. Time management is a big one now, because I've seen a couple people who, especially on self-portraits, I know that some people can do a lot better of a job in self-portraits, even if you can't draw and you can shade. So I want to make sure that you're using all available time. It's easier for me to see that when I'm here, that you're really working on it. So I want to be able to make sure you guys are using all the available time that you have. You can see, like, you don't have to be the best draw, like, you don't have to know how to draw the best, but as long as you have the shading in here, what I'm looking for on the rubric, then it's fine. So the shading you can see here from lights to darks is what I'm looking for. But I want to make sure everyone's comfortable now and understand how to use Google Classroom and download everything from Google Classroom and upload. Is everyone good with that? Yeah? I know, Casey, and if you are having problems, just let me know. I have problems with it, so because, you know, I'm learning how to use it. This is the first time I ever used Google Classroom. So, Autumn, you have any problems with it? You're all right? If you have a problem, just let me know. And everyone knows how to scan now? Everyone in here knows how to scan? What's that? Scan your artwork. Like the scanner's back there. If you don't know, then we would have someone show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. Yeah. All right, so make sure I have everything uploaded. I think if not, I'll send it now. But there's a file that has the pencil exercises. Download that file first. Do that first. Then you can move on to creating the class logo. The videos are also linked in there. So let me send it out now.
and then you guys